and welcome back to Tutor Time with Mallory. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Miss Kelly Ives. How are you doing today, Kelly?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How about you?
Good. How did you know you wanted to work in the education system?
Honestly, I think it was one of those things, you hear all the time. I was just born to be an educator. I have a younger sister, and every day when I came home from school, I forced her to play school and learn all the things that I had learned that day at school. And, I think I really fought it for a long time. When I first went to college, my plan was to major in chemistry and be a pharmacist. And that lasted for about 2 years. And then I just said, you know what, this isn't what I'm meant to do. And I finally gave in to what I consider my calling, which is to be an educator, and changed my major and have been in education ever since. And that was a long time ago. So it's been a really long time. I graduated from college in 97. So I've been in education since 1997.
How long have you worked for the New Independent Academy?
The school started in 2013, and if you're not familiar with what NIA, New Independence Academy is, it's a private school for children with autism. So the school opened in 2013, and then I came on board in its second year, which was the 2014-15 school year. So I am currently in my 7th year with the school. It'll officially be 7 years working here in August.
What is your favorite thing about working with New Independent Academy?
Oh goodness, there's so many. It's hard to pin down just one favorite, but I love the kids. I love the families that we get to help. I love the people I work with. So that makes it easy to come in every day. But I think just knowing that we get to play a part in improving the situation for a child. A lot of our children, because they do all have autism. So if you're familiar with autism, some of them struggle socially, and their previous educational setting may not have been the best for them, just because of social issues and, not having friends or getting picked on or that kind of thing. And for them to come here and to fit in, for most of them the first time in their lives. They have friends, they have people who accept them for who they are. And, we hear all the time from families that this is the first time they've ever been invited to a birthday party, or, had friends that would call them on the phone or send text messages. So to see that kind of social component blossom in these kids really means a lot. And just to see how far they go, from when they first come until when they, graduate, or, whatever the case may be, just to see how far they come and how much they grow over the course of their time with us.
What are your teaching specialties?
My specialties personally are special education and autism education specifically. I have my master's is in special education, and then I have a doctorate in curriculum and instruction. So I focus a lot of my attention, and that my background is on autism. But then, my bachelor's degree is in elementary education. So I have a very wide area of specialty that ranges from, I've worked with pre-K all the way up through, I actually am an adjunct instructor teaching doctoral students. So I've done everything from pre-K up through doctoral candidates. But autism and special education are really, I guess, my main area of focus.
What are the 3 most important skills to have when it comes to working in the education system?
Oh goodness, only 3, huh? I think patience, of course. I think any educator that would probably be one of the top 3. Patience. You really have to be able to, accept that children aren't cookie cutter, and they're not going to learn things on a set schedule. And, as educators, we have to be able to adjust and, have that patience, both academically, behaviorally, emotionally, with, where the children are at that given stage in their development. And then we also have to be able to, I think, take a step back, especially if you're dealing with, behavior issues, because I know, it's very easy to take things personally and say, well, they were acting that way towards me as the teacher. And most of the time it doesn't really have anything to do with us. They are going through something, and we need to be able to be patient and understanding of what's going on in their little minds, and what they're going through. Flexibility, especially, I think we've learned more in the past year about how important it is to be flexible. Things change at the drop of a hat, and we go from a traditional classroom setting to an online classroom setting to back to traditional, and everything in between. So we have to be patient, we have to be flexible, and we have to be like I said, the understanding, because for a lot of the kids that we see in our classrooms, the time that they're with us may be the only time that they feel love, and they need that from us. So, we have to be understanding, and we have to be loving toward them, because, if we're the only example of love they have, then, they need to feel that somewhere. And if it's in our classrooms, then that's where it has to be. So,
what advice would you give the viewers who either want to work in the education system or would like to work within it?
I think one of the biggest pieces of advice would be to, don't be discouraged when it's not exactly like you think it's going to be. I know when I first graduated, I was expecting, to go into the classroom and it to be completely different. But I think that, a lot of times teachers, they leave and they go in and they're so excited, and then all the other things like the testing, the paperwork, all those things suddenly become overwhelming because we weren't really prepared for those. So I think that would be the biggest piece of advice, maybe just, remember why you want to be in the field. And for most of us, it's because we love children. We want to make a difference in their lives. And I think, you have to cling to that despite all the other stuff, really cling to why you want to do this in the first place. And, the other stuff, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do to get rid of testing. There's nothing we can do to get rid of paperwork, but, you still have to cling to why you want to be an educator. And that's the important thing, I think, is to, just remember that you want to change the lives of a child. And that's why we do it. And remember that when you're discouraged.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for joining me today. It was an absolute pleasure. For those who would like to schedule an interview with me, please contact me at my YouTube channel, Tutor Time with Mallory. You can also contact me on my Facebook page, Tutor Time with Mallory, and my LinkedIn, Tutor Time with Mallory. Thank you.